The Toronto Raptors have made another trade into this year's NBA draft, and they ended up selecting with the 57th overall pick, Ulrich Chomche, a 7-foot center that has some shooting potential and has an extremely high upside. He's the youngest player in the NBA draft, and Bobby Webster, Masai Ujiri are taking a big flyer at the late end of the second round on a dude that won't be NBA ready right now, but a couple years down the line could certainly be a piece that is looked back on as one of the steals in this year's NBA draft. Not saying it's a guaranteed steal, a guaranteed W, but if things go right, if the development goes right course, this could be certainly a dude that develops into a legitimate NBA center in the NBA. So we're going to break down who Ulrich Chomche is as a basketball prospect, what impact he's going to have on the Toronto Raptors in the short term and potentially the long-term future of this organization. But this is almost a historic draft pick in the NBA spheres. He's from Cameroon. I think it's the 7th player from Cameroon ended up getting selected, but came straight out of the NBA Africa League. So obviously Masai Ujiri has a tight, deep roots in terms of building basketball in the continent of Africa, and has a deep roots in terms of drafting or bringing in Cameroon players. Obviously Pascal Siakam being the biggest success story, and then Serge Ibaka also going over there, having a deep relationship with the Giants of Africa stuff. So basically a guy that Masai Ujiri has probably been scouting, looking at for a very, very long time, and he is a very intriguing player. Now, gathering stats, gathering info, they're kind of all over the place regarding him as a prospect, but Ulrich Chomche is a guy that is essentially 7-foot power forward center, 232 pounds. He's only 18 and a half years old, so the youngest prospect they said on the TV, they say he's the youngest prospect in the NBA. So he was projected to get drafted 57th. That's exactly where he ended up landing, and the Toronto Raptors traded with the Memphis Grizzlies to make that deal happen. Reportedly, the Raptors basically gave up cash consideration, so no big deals. Maybe there will be more details revealed on that front, but the fact that there hasn't been any details revealed beyond the fact that's clearing up some cap space there, I mean, that's indicative that the Raptors didn't really give anything up to draft Ulrich Chomche, but definitely an intriguing sort of frame and size. And then we can take a look at his stats, 36-inch vertical, which is pretty solid for a 7-footer, right? Pretty quick shuffle speed again for a size. He has a 9'1" reach and is a 7'4" wingspan. So again, physically, this dude has all the intangibles of a center that can play in the NBA. And again, the stats here specifically don't really tell a ton. Played 3 games and 13 points, 9 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 2.7 blocks in those NBA Africa games, 1.3 steals, and shot 38% from behind the 3-point line. But again, all the stats that are kind of published and you're seeing going around, they are extremely, extremely small sample size. So to get a better grasp in terms of who Ulrich Chomche is as a prospect, we're better off diving into the scouting reports in terms of what people are describing his game as, and how it will translate over into the NBA sphere. So let's dive in. I got a few excerpts to really sink our teeth into. So essentially, Chomche earned a spot on the NBA watch list at the G League Showcase with his outstanding physical tools, clear defensive appealing, and flashes of shooting, range, ball handling, and passing. Coming from the NBA Global Academy, there's just some uncertainty about his NBA readiness, but he'll be appealing to more patient teams willing to take on a high upside longer term project. So as we mentioned, right, the potential, the flashes are there. He's a 7-footer that can kind of shoot the basketball, can kind of dribble, can kind of do these things, and has all the physical tools to be a rim protector, to be a shot blocker, to be a guy that can have an impact as a disruptor at the basket. But NBA readiness is still the concern about him right now. He's only 18 years old. Centers take a while to develop along those lines too. I mean, Christian Koloko was a guy that had some question marks about his NBA readiness, and he was a multi-year college prospect. So he was older coming into the league than Ulrich Chomche is. But basically, and him in the Raptors system will be nice in terms of development with the 905. But Bleacher Report's Jonathan Wasserman compares Chomche to Serge Ibaka, who is a 1-time NBA champion, 3-time All-Defensive Player selection, and 2-time leader in blocks in the NBA. And he's drafted by the Supersonics, obviously played for the Toronto Raptors. But like Chomche, Ibaka started off his playing career in Africa, and if Chomche does have a career that resembles Ibaka's, he'll have enormous success. Now, to expect that Ulrich Chomche is going to have the career of Serge Ibaka, the 57th overall pick, that's high expectations. Now, I don't think it's undoable. I don't think it's something we should write this guy off, an 18-year-old, because he hasn't looked NBA ready really coming into things. But to compare him to a guy that had a really debatably, international wise and stuff, potentially Hall of Fame career, because I know the NBA Hall of Fame is a little bit different than, just pure NBA success. Serge Ibaka was never an all-star and stuff, but in terms of global impact and things, doing things in the EuroLeague and stuff, maybe not Hall of Fame. That's exaggerated, but a big name, a big influential piece, an impact player throughout the course. I'm a homer. I love Serge Ibaka. I want to put him in the Hall of Fame, but realistic, that's a crazy take. But I know international players, like role players, have gotten it. That's why I'm declaring that before the comment sections eat me alive. But basically, to compare Ulrich Chomche to Serge Ibaka, that's a high bar, a high set to really aim after for. But I like that those comparisons are at least being made. For a guy that's coming into the Raptors system, coming into the Raptors group. That is a positive for people that are excited about this draft pick. A guy coveted that, but I don't think our expectations should be set too high, starting off. But basically, this is coming from Sportsnet. They said the 18-year-old center is a native of Bafang, Cameroon. He stands at 6'10.25". We get different heights on all the different websites that come out with the 7'4" wingspan. He's also the youngest player in the draft. He averaged 13.9 and 2.7 blocks in the 3 games for the Africa Basketball League qualifier last season, and he showed a willingness to stretch the floor and play as more of a modern big, shooting 38% on his 7 3-point attempts per game. So that man is eating up threes. He is just hoisting them from there behind the 3-point line, which might be a little bit discouraging because, again, a guy is 7-foot frame. You might want him scoring, finishing a little bit in the rim. But, again, with those long arms, being a lob threat, that is a positive, and we don't know the point guards he was running with in those African League games. So, maybe with an Immanuel Quickley, he'll be more of a pick and roll roller, getting to the basket, doing those types of things. But shooting 7 threes a game at 7 foot as a raw prospect is a pretty bananas there, coveted at those sides. But also, Chomche is a gifted athlete, using his long frame and impressive leaping ability to protect at the rim and block shots. However, he is still a raw product who relies more on his athleticism than defensive IQ at this point in his development. Because of his athletic abilities, he's a capable switcher and can use that length to defend multiple positions and jump passing lanes. On offense, he's a strong roller, capable of getting up for lobs and pick and roll actions, and runs the floor well in transition before finishing strong on fast breaks. He's also shown some flashes in developing passing abilities and short action. So again, obviously the comparisons are going to come into, former Raptors, Pascal Siakam being from Cameroon as well. I like the fact that he runs the floor. He's an energy guy. That's how Pascal Siakam got on the court during his rookie season when, if you recall back, Jarrett Sullinger was supposed to be our power forward, but was dealt with a ton of injuries. Pascal Siakam was that raw prospect, drafted 27th overall, that we didn't expect to really be playing, and he started a ton of games to start off that year. As the season went along, players got back healthy. Obviously, Pascal Siakam got more of a bench role, didn't play a ton of games to close out that season, but had the opportunity to get on the court, develop, and the Raptors right now, who are a team that's rebuilding, switching up their sort of mole and, going younger, right? Chomche, I hope, does get an opportunity to get some run, get some opportunities to get out there on the basketball court this season. I think he certainly will for the Raptors 905, but that'd be nice for the NBA main group for, you can't teach that ridiculous length and height and the ability to shoot when you're that sort of size at frame. So if he can get things right, become more NBA ready, become more of that, polished prospect, I think this is huge for the Toronto Raptors. But let me know what you guys think about this draft selection, especially at 57 overall, not having to give much to trade into that position. Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys are the best to make it this far. And folks, if you made it this far in the video and you're enjoying the content, you're watching the latest vids, you're part of the 51% that haven't subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.